UFC No Show, you want to have that on the same date every year. This year, you pushed Canelo off that date. I know sometimes you guys are clashing in the past, but it seemed like you got that and they didn't want to go against you. You think these numbers that you pulled this year?
I will go that date every day. I don't care if somebody here in town gets the date at the arena. I'll go in an opposing arena and go head-to-head with them next year. I'm doing this for the rest of my reign here. So they can go on the same night. We can go head-to-head. I'm going. Thing was a massive success for us. This was something that I've been thinking about since the day we bought this company. So we're finally in the position. I'm all my chips are in on Mexico. We're opening the PI, which we spent, millions and millions of dollars on. I was in here talking to you guys. It might even have been you or somebody else. We were talking about why aren't you doing that? I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Why am I not doing that? We did it. It was huge, and we'll do it again every year, regardless of whether boxing goes or doesn't go. I will go head-to-head with them every year.
We spoke for the first time about having this Mexican non-independent, because it was about Cinco de Mayo in March. So can you take us about the process of what happened with your team when the first time you told them, I want to do this, I want to take this Mexican dates from boxing, I think we can compete now, we have enough talent. Can you tell us about the process of what happened during this year?
I don't want to take the dates for boxing. They can do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm going to take this date now, you can't have it. You guys can go at the same time and do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, as soon as I said, yeah, why are we not doing this? We should do this. We went right back to the office the next day and started working on building the card, and, we built what was Saturday.
There was a few unique things for Noche, like the graphics and the music during the cuts and everything, and even the jersey. Have you seen the jerseys are around $600 now? I mean, they sold out everybody in the card, and they're people paying $600, $700.
Yeah,
jerseys.
I heard about that, but I didn't see them. I didn't see that. Yeah.
They're on eBay around $700.
Are they really? Oh shit! All right.
We got a box back here.
Yeah, so this was our first time out, and you know how we operate. It'll get better every year. We'll make it bigger and better every year that we do it. We're all in on this thing.
Just to follow up on, obviously it was free this year. Do you see that staying the same every year, or do you think eventually it'll be so big?
What?
UFC No Show. Do you think it'll stay free, or can you see it becoming a pay-per-view?
Yeah. I mean, just like everything that we do, it will evolve and get better and grow and get bigger. And with the opening of the PI, and every time I say this to you guys, am I wrong? Watch what we do in the next 3 years down in Mexico. Watch what we do in the next 3 years.
David, can you explain a little bit more on why you passed on Daniel Allen? Was it just was it his record? Was it his age?
Listen,
he could have finished?
Yeah, no, none of that. I look at people, and for example, Stephanie, right? Young, this, that, but in that fight tonight, she was aggressive. She tried to finish the whole time, stuffing shots, and I think she was on the ground for 6 minutes and 27 seconds with a 6-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, whose thing is the rear naked choke. She stayed out of it the whole time. She was dominant on the feet, aggressive, and I just saw something in her that I liked, and I think she can be something. Now, Daniel Allen, so he goes in, if he didn't wrestle tonight, he had to stand up. He was in there with a damn good wrestler. There were a lot of fouls in the fight. He is 4-0 and he's 31 years old, and he needs more time. What I did like about him were all the things that I said. He's undefeated, he's 5-0, he's a 2-1 dog. He proved the odds makers wrong tonight, and everybody who bet against him tonight, he proved them wrong. And he just needs some more time. I think with some time, I think we'll see him again.
Did Daniel Cormier almost convince you to sign him?
No. I was saying Cormier and I were on a plane on the way home from New York, and he was telling me the story about how he watched UFC 100, And he was like, this is awesome. He'd seen it before, but for some reason, UFC 100 hit him different. And he wanted to go to 101. So he went to 101. He loved the show, and he said, I'm going to do this. And he fought like 4 days later or something like that. And that was it. I mean, I think he was 31 or 32, and became one of the greatest of all time. So listening to that story made me think, I'm looking at these guys that are in their early 30s, and I don't think that they have enough time to become world champions or whatever. I'm wrong.
So, like, even listening to that story, like, did it kind of almost push you to sign him?
No, not even close. I think this kid needs more time. I think that I would be doing him a huge disservice bringing him in at the level he's at now into the UFC. He could fight in these smaller shows and get more experience with guys that are his level, and I believe we will see this guy again someday. This isn't one of those things where, like, I'm not interested in this guy, whatever. If this kid can keep it right after not getting kicked tonight, get some more experience, I believe we'll see him again.
With you saying that, you know, Grasso versus Shevchenko's probably next, is it safe to say Aaron Blanchfield versus Bernard Ferro is probably going to be next for the number one contender?
It would make sense, right?
And then finally, there's been some rumblings in China in December. Are you trying to do Wei Li Zhang versus Yao Xiaonan for the Charlie title?
Yeah, that's not true. That wouldn't be China, no.
Thank you.
Yep. You know we're getting thin on fucking questions at the Contender Series when you guys are asking me about China fights. This better be good. What do you got?
I'm putting the focus back on Contender. Igor Silva obviously won a contract today. He's only 20 years old. Last year he signed Raul Rosas Jr., who's going to turn 19 next month. As someone who's been around this game for a long time, what do you make of all these young athletes making it to the big stage at such a young age? And what do you make of this, like, in terms of the evolution of the sport, where we're seeing all these young guys making it to the UFC at that age?
I think that every once in a while you will find these kids that are special, that, you know, at a younger age they can come in here and they can adapt to it. I mean, look at Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort was like 18 years old, his first fight in the UFC, and the guy became a legend and stuck around forever and fought all the best in the world. Some have it and some don't. I think that Igor has it. We're going to find out whether I'm right or wrong. So.
And you said you felt something special when you saw Stephanie make the walk tonight. You mentioned, like, the it factor. What are some other fighters you've seen that where you feel that same feeling?
Sugar Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor the first time I ever met him, Ronda Rousey the first time I ever met her. The list goes on. Chuck Liddell. When I met Chuck Liddell, the UFC didn't want Chuck Liddell. They had released him and they didn't want him in the UFC. I mean, when I managed him, I was fighting with those guys for like over a year to try to get them to sign Chuck Liddell. They didn't want him.
And I want to put the focus back on Roger UFC for a second. There was a prelim fight between Lacerda and Chairez where referee Chris Taglioni stopped the fight when he thought Lacerda went out. I'm not sure if you saw that. After review, they made the decision and he was not out, and they called their no decision. What did you make of all of that?
Yeah, listen, it's unfortunate. It sucks when that stuff happens, but when you think about what instant replay was meant to do, why it was, why it was put in place, it did what it was supposed to do.
And I know you just kind of bashed on that China stuff, but there's also rumblings about Ireland in December. Is that true?
You had to fuck this whole thing up. You were on point. Now we're in fucking Ireland? I have no idea if we're going to Ireland yet. You blew it, kid. You blew it. Does anybody else have any other stupid questions for me tonight? Thank you. Have a good night.